Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit of a different sort of athlete.
She's been described as a thoroughbred, a natural on land and in the water.
Ellen has everything that points towards her being one of Canada's best female triathletes.
Ellen Pennock joined the national development team at 18 years old and was considered a rising star destined for the Olympics. In 2014, she moved overseas to Australia, then Spain, training and living full-time with some of the best triathletes in the world.
My trajectory was exponential, the amount I was improving.
But the novelty of living abroad quickly wore off for Ellen, and the high-level training environment designed to inspire and improve began to push her away.
Ellen went through a stage where I think she was starting to question her place in the sport and whether she was going to go forward.
The environment was intense. Her body could handle it, her mind could not.
When I was in the full-time athlete environment, surrounded by your teammates, your training partners 24/7, it was too all-encompassing, and I just didn't feel like I had a release.
The Calgary native missed her family.
Got really homesick.
Her desire and competitive drive began to waver.
You tie your whole self-worth to how you're doing in training, how you're doing against your competitors, how you're doing against your training partners, and you have nothing else to fall back on. There's no escape.
Some people, it takes being triathlon all day, but Ellen's not one of those people. So again, if you put her into an environment that doesn't suit, there's no surprise that at some stage there's going to be a cost, and that cost is often burnout or being unhappy, and hey presto, it's pretty hard to do triathlon if you're not happy.
A promising athlete mulling retirement well before her prime.
Yeah, I've had to take off time due to injury, but this mental fog was the hardest thing I've ever had to kind of get over.
Ellen ran away from the world of non-stop triathlon. She needed a break.
I was a normal 22-year-old for a good 2 months. I went away and I went to Tofino with my friends. I went back to school. I got some sleep and I just grounded myself again.
After gaining a fresh perspective, her fundamental passion for the sport returned.
In the end, she determined that she had some unfinished business.
I love swim, bike, run.
The 23-year-old wanted to train and compete, but with a different approach.
We've kind of moved the paradigm. We're no longer shooting for the results, we're shooting for the process and having a degree of enjoyment in that process, knowing that if we get that right, the results will come down the line anyway.
Ellen now has a life beyond triathlon, attending school at the University of Victoria. She's found a balance.
If you train more hours, it's easy to make the presumption you should be better, but for me the game's always been how little can we train and how well can we perform.
But that doesn't mean she's taking it easy.
What's the like, how often are you training?
Right now I'm training at least twice a day. Sometimes we'll do all 3 sports in one day.
How many calories are you burning a day?
I don't know, I guess a big day for me would probably be about 4,000 calories.
4,000.
Yeah, that would be a big day. I have a life outside of sport, so for me that balance has just completely diminished the stress I was feeling when I was a full-time athlete.
If an athlete's happy, and they're happy within themselves and they're confident, and they're obviously talented, they'll race well.
While she's rediscovered her spark, Ellen's Olympic hopes are still in question, but the potential is there.
I can't tell you how good Ellen will be, but one of the things we're working at is to try and find out where that is.
There's no one-size-fits-all formula for athletes, but for Ellen Pennock, she's on the right path. In Victoria, I'm Kevin Charach.